Hello and welcome. My name is Kendra Hendricks and I am the creator of Empowerments Apparel 531. Not only am I a creator, but I'm also a transition coordinator and employment specialist. Now what I do is I serve students with autism by facilitating their work-based learning experience. I train them on realistic tasks that mimic a realistic work environment. So I set up different setups on campus at a school, and I help train them and expose them to different skill sets, such as customer service, hospitality, different food service preparatory tasks they may need to do, like how to set tables, how to deliver food and wait on people. I assist them with other things such as gardening and landscaping skills, whatever their interests are. Then I connect them to businesses in the community, and they go out for an hour each week at different work sites to work in a realistic work environment to prepare them for when they graduate high school to be able to be eligible for employment. Now, what you're about to see in this scene is how I set up a universal design to train my students on how to stock and do inventory. So I use a universal design that includes color coding. It includes description of what is required of the student. It requires them to have a structured setup so they can have some type of routine every time they do this particular task to prepare them for a site where they're going to do inventory and stocking potentially. So let's get into it. Show you is a cabinet that I set up to train my students on stocking and doing inventory. This is good for training students to be employed with supermarkets and retail stores. So what I've done is set up a universal design, of course, that's my favorite. So over here I have wording and I have red arrows to indicate what goes on each shelf. So the first says that towels, gloves, and spray bottles go on this shelf, beverages, cookies, and chips go on this shelf, and clothes go on this shelf. So I'll start with this shelf to explain what all this means. So on the inside of the bin, I have indicated the numbers. This helps us to know how much of each item to place in each bin. So in this bin, cookies go in this bin. And as a disclaimer, I train my students on a delivery system as well. So these bins are color coded because what happens after they bring the bins back, after going to each classroom to offer these snacks for sale, they have to place it back into the cabinet. So they match this strip with this strip. So they know that this yellow strip matches this yellow strip, so this goes back here. Same things for the chips. I have pictures of the chips, the word chips, and I have numbers on the inside so they know how many chips to put in this bin. And lastly, for the drinks. 8 drinks go in here. I have numbers to indicate that on the circles. And then I have the pictures of the snackers as well. The blue strip matches the blue strip here. They know to put the bin back here. Alright, so let's go to the housekeeping cleaning products. So I had pictures of gloves, a clear spray bottle, towels, and different color spray bottles as well. And on this shelf I have black socks, white socks, and different color shirts. So, every time I set up a system, I set up a left to right working system. So when the student is expected to stop, they're going to stop from the left and they're going to pick up, from the left and stop to the right. So right here I have a cart of the items they're expected to stop. So I'll start with the towels. So if you have a student you're also working on folding with, you have them fold the towels first and place on the shelf. Fold the towels first and place on the shelf. And then I had the bottles. They would have to look through the pictures and see where this goes. The red bottle goes here, yellow bottle goes here, green bottle goes here, blue bottle goes here. So what I typically do is have them stock the same type of items first. So they'll stock all the cleaning supplies first, they'll stock all the food items second, then they'll stock all the clothes items third. So I wouldn't have them stocking like chips and then gloves. It's just one shelf at a time. All right, let me show you how to set up the food service items. So what they would do is look at which bin this goes into. On here, I have a picture of blue Doritos. So look at the bin, place the blue Doritos on a black dot. Then I pick up from the left the Funyuns, see which bin this goes in, and then place it on another black dot. And once they stock all the trips, then they'll move on to the cookies. Or they can stock a cookie here, stock a chip here, stock a drink here. It depends on the tolerance and the skill level of the student. So this is a universal design where I'm using pictures, colors, words to indicate which goes where, and numbers of how much of the items go in each bin. And this, I didn't really put numbers up here because these have different types of numbers of items. They don't have the same numbers, and also sometimes the towels might get dirty, so you might throw one away. So I didn't put here that 10 towels need to be here all the time. That doesn't matter. So this is definitely a good way to set up for teaching students how to stock and do inventory. One more thing I forgot to tell you. The shelves look different, don't they? You see that there's no icons here, but there are. The icons are indicated on the inside with the pictures of the items. So here is black socks, white socks, and black and white shirts go here, and gray shirts as well. So I put the pictures on the inside of this shelf because these two are at eye level. I don't want the student to have to come down to match because the icons are taped on the outside of the shelf. So I taped them on the inside. I forgot to make that note. That's very important. I want to inform employers that the same strategies and systems that I'm using to train my students on work-based learning are the same strategies and systems that you can use to be inclusive and to make your workspace accessible for those with disabilities. You can use visuals, pictures, word descriptions, icons, and different color coding techniques to achieve this. These are called reasonable accommodations according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, also known as the ADA. This will allow for our high school students who are about to enter the workforce to be prepared and to apply what they learn to be successful in employment. One of the many talents that we as employment specialists have is that we can help you employers customize your workspace to be accessible so you don't have to do it alone. And this will allow for those with disabilities to perform their job functions to the same extent as those without disabilities.